Hey guys, I missed you. I hope you're doing well. And peekaboo, welcome to the end of another week. Or I guess the beginning really just kind of depends on how you view Sundays. And as you can see, we're kind of like out and about, a little bit different. If you missed the stream on Friday, I hope that all has been well with you. That whatever you ended up doing otherwise, that was enjoyable, fruitful, and overall just a blessing in your life. And I did miss you, but big thing you might have missed was just we're in the process of actually, seriously terraforming the island. So I was going to walk around today, chit chat a little bit here and there. You'll be able to see like some of the new stuff that we are doing with it, and maybe I'll find a little bit more inspiration. Maybe you'll find some inspiration, but it'll be pretty cool. But one of the main reasons why I enjoy terraforming in Animal Crossing is simply the fact that it brings me peace. As weird as it might sound, it's just peaceful. You just go out of your way to sculpt rivers and make mountains and all sorts of stuff, and it's just a really overall relaxing experience, and I really enjoy it. And I asked today, what brings you peace in your life? It can be pretty much just about anything, honestly. Like maybe if you like to knit, or maybe you draw little comics, or maybe it could be simple things like just doom scrolling on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, or whatever it is that you use, Facebook Reels. If that brings you peace, that's perfectly legitimate as well. There's really no illegitimate way to find peace in your life. I just ask as a friend, what is your preference? Just because there's so many different ideas out there for what somebody might do to garner that little bit of peace. And when I ask for like peace, I'm just talking about like basically like what is your like key to unwind, basically like your go-to. If you sit back, relax, take a deep breath, what does it feel like for you? Is it something like watching TV, playing a game, checking out a movie, reading a book? Lately, my sister, she's been reading a lot more, which it's really great for her because I'm not a reader, so I do find it somewhat enviable that she herself is a big reader. Just for me, it's reading's like the anti-peace for me. It's like I can see how people can find peace in it, but I get easily distracted. So as I'm reading, just any little thing that happens near me is going to distract me, and if I'm distracted, then I have a lack of peace. Like I just feel like I'm taken out of the vibe that we're in right there, and as a result, like it's just like I have a hard time finding peace in reading, just because any little distraction is going to take me away from that, and it's just going to be a rough go of things for me. Whereas other things that I don't get so easily distracted in are a little bit better. Like when it comes to like a video game like Animal Crossing brings me peace. I can get distracted in Animal Crossing, but it's not nearly as bad as it might be if I was reading a book or anything like that. So that's why it's a lot easier for me to manage playing a game like Animal Crossing, finding peace in this rather than other things. And honestly, some of the things that bring other people a little bit more chaos in their life are the things that can bring me peace. Going back to a game like Animal Crossing, or even like Minecraft. I know some people who they play it and it's intended to be peaceful, but they just get so frustrated because of I guess the best way to put it would be like artist block. You're just kind of stuck in a mode where you're just kind of looking at the canvas and you're like trying to mentally figure out what are we going to do. Like I want to do something, I just don't know what it is yet, and that can cause a bit of distress, and that's the last thing that you want from really from any aspect of life. But we will have burdens here and there. There is going to be a lot of times where we're going to be agitated with the reality of the situation. That's kind of where the importance of having a little bit of peace comes from. Just knowing tarantulas garden that little fossil hole over there. I don't know how that's going to go when we get over there. That's the opposite of peace for me. That tarantula's going to just ruin my day. I can feel it now. Oh man, we'll see as we get. If I'll keep that in mind because do have to go up there to go gather a couple fossils. I don't know if he's going to still be there. Oh man. Well, there's Camafrog next to one of the other fossil holes. Oh, 2 of them. That's cool. All my peace that I just had is like evaporating as I'm like, oh man, I gotta deal with this tarantula possibly. Ugh. Other things that have brought me peace in the past might be things like drawing could be alright. Like I wouldn't say that drawing gave me peace as much as it was just a firm distraction from the life that I had because I was busy. Oh man, I don't see the tarantula. He was over here. Okay, maybe it despawned. Watch as it just like randomly pops up out of nowhere and just tries to bite me. Ugh. But I used to draw more as a distraction, like you know, sometimes your piece can come from something that's simply just a distraction from the noise. And then there's other times where peace is supposed to be an alternative to just everything. I'm not trying to be distracted by it. I'm just trying to not even think about it. That could be where your peace comes from as well. It's kind of hard to try to draw a line in between the two, but maybe if you get what I'm saying, it'll make a little bit more sense. But it's just that concept that, you know, sometimes the things that brings you peace, let me try it like this. There's peace as a distraction, and there's peace as an alternative. Piece of it as an alternative would be more along the lines of just, it's just something I do in the chaos of the world. All that noise is a non-factor, whereas like as a distraction, it may be along the lines of, it's something that the noise is still there, but I can think about something other than the noise type of thing, if that makes sense. So at the end of the day, it's like peace is just kind of more or less temporary in its own kind of way. Like, just how much do you let the noise still bother you? I guess this is the best way to put it. I try to not let it bother me when it comes to these concepts and whatnot, but sometimes, you know, you'll find people who are more easily distracted by these things. Like, peace is not something that does away with the noise. It's just merely blends in with the background, if that makes any sense. But who really knows? Every person's different. But I do hope that whatever it is that you personally do to find peace is something that works out for you. One thing that does give me peace is this hippo over here. I know I'm really harsh on him, but it's 100% the truth of the matter. He just agitates me so much sometimes. But is what it is. I ask this not just because we're going through the fruits of the spirit for the Sundays for the rest of the year, but also trying to assess our roots, if that makes any sense to you. We're just trying to make sure that the direction we are moving as a community and as individuals is a positive change, that we are moving forward, that we are doing good things, that we're making sure that the next steps that we take are on solid ground, that as we plant their seeds, that it's in fertile ground, that we are doing everything we can to make sure that we are in the best mindset, because quite frankly, it's going to be, we got a whole year coming up pretty soon. Like, as 2025 comes to an end, we're going to have 2026 upcoming, and I want to get all this like stuff, like, you know, I feel like this is the time to reflect, to have that little bit of depth. That's perfectly fine. And then I hope that we can then get past all this and start next year on a good foot, if that makes sense for you. Just try to find ourselves in a spot where it feels like 2026 is going to be the best possible year to start off with. We're going to be doing great. Things will be fantastic. We're going to have all the great stuff going along, and it's just going to be not worrying about all of what we once were, but rather instead actually having that level of that degree of focus on what will be to come. And so basically, it's just kind of like spiritual house cleaning is kind of what we're going on right now as I talk about all these things, trying to get past all of this. But we'll see ultimately how things end up panning overall, because there's so much more to look forward to. We have the whole holiday season upcoming, and trust me, I know just as well as you know that it can be quite chaotic, all things considered, because there's a lot of things to consider. But I hope you guys know that I'm in it with you. But as crazy as things are going to be, I'm still here too. I know exactly how absurd things can be, how crazy family can be. My family is no exception. We can be a little bit kooky at times, and oh man, these tarantulas, they're like good money, but they're also just really spook me. Just get down. All right, get up, get down, creep, 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 creep. Please don't bite me. Oh, thank goodness. I think we might have enough tarantulas now to start selling them, but I don't know for a fact yet. In case you're wondering, real quick, this little area, I want to turn it into like kind of like a Segway garden. We have like this little pond over here, and just have like some flowers or whatnot that lead the pathway over to this way. By Segway garden, I mean like I'm gonna have this lead off to the eastern side of the island where I might have something, whereas this one might just go up towards the north or western parts of the island, and just have it like look really good. Like I'll have to show you like actually like as we progress the differences in there, but it's definitely, I got a lot of high hopes for it all, but we'll see ultimately how it looks like. I don't know why I keep coming over to these islands, these mystery islands, like they're gonna have something really cool or interesting, but who knows? Maybe they will. I'm determined to figure out what we might get from over here. But mostly, topic of the day is just a lot about peace. What brings you peace? What are the things that are giving you like what's the thing that gives you the warmness in your face that makes you just, you see it and you're just like, this is home kind of vibe, you know what I mean? Like, trying to think of the best way to word it all. What brings you that feeling of home, right? I think that's kind of what we're aiming at with that one. Let me think for a second. Because, like, I gotta think about the things that bring me peace, which for me would just be like my family, my hobbies bring me peace, and that's kind of it. Like my family, my pets, my hobbies, those are the things that bring me the most peace. So I'm trying to figure out how to describe that feeling, right? So I guess the best way to put it would be, what brings you peace is what brings you that feeling of home. What is the warmth in your face as you look and just know that whatever might have been bothering you literally 2 seconds ago is a non-factor, and you are now just primed and ready to make the most of whatever time that you have right now. To me, that's the definition of a peace-giving thing. And I'm just asking for you, like, what is it that brings you that feeling of peace, right? Again, it's for me, it's like my family, my pets, and my hobbies. More in depth, my wife and my daughters, they can bring me peace. My wife more than anything. As much as I love my daughters, I'm not going to be in denial. Anybody who has kids, it's not that you don't like your kids. It's just, it can be a bit crazy because they're going through the most crazy and chaotic period of their life, and you are no stranger to this. You went through this very same feeling when you were their age. So you know how crazy it is. And all you're asking is that you're asking that they might give you a little bit of grace, a little bit of peace in the whole thing. And the sad truth is, you're probably not going to get it because, quite frankly, peace is such a hard thing to come by when it comes to parenting, because you're constantly like, if you want to not have peace, just be a parent. That's ultimately what it comes down. Just be a parent, because you're constantly worried about whether or not your kids are going to be getting into trouble, or if they're okay, if they're making good decisions, if they need your help. One of my favorite songs with an accompanying music video is No Ordinary Love by the band Memphis May Fire. And the story that's told throughout the music video is a parent's love. It's no ordinary love. And the main characters are a young boy. He's like a teenage boy, and his father. And his father's like a janitor at the school that the kid goes to. And so he sees, the father sees his son start hanging out with the wrong crowd, right? You know what I mean? And he wishes everything well for him, but like sometimes when you wish well for your kids, you're like, I want them to be able to live their life and not have to feel like I'm constantly helicoptering them, but I also don't want them to be stuck in bad decisions that they make. So like, what can I do to help them not make the same mistakes I did without it feeling like I'm trying to control their life? And that's one of the hard parts of being a parent, or maybe if you're not necessarily like a biological parent or an adoptive parent, but like being the, what's it called, the responsible adult in a young person's life. And it can be difficult at times to find peace when dealing with these things, but sometimes that's just how life goes. But I hope that whatever it is that helps you find peace in your life, that you have it in abundance, especially with these upcoming seasons, and that if you're not quite certain what gives you peace, or what is a symbol of peace for you, that perhaps you might find some clarity in discovering that. You know what I mean? Just, I wish well for everybody. You're all amazing people. You're the best audience in the world. And I look forward to lots of wonderful memories, and lots of peace that we get to share moving forward. But in the meantime, I hope you've had a fantastic weekend, and I hope that this next week isn't too much for you, that you feel like you got it under control, because trust me, I've seen it. You have this under control. But until next time, God bless. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Love you guys, and I'll see you very, very soon.